Hey guys, it's Zia Productions here. Been a while, I know. So I've been actually filming the clips for this for quite a while, I think about a year in total. I'm just now getting around to editing it because, you know, everything that's been happening, just been kind of tired. But I really do want to post a video and I thought this would be a good one to start off with. As you guys know, I've had my Rusted Master Sword for a little bit, but I felt like it was time to improve it a little bit. So I got some materials together, and after a lot of trial and error, I finally finished it. So here's my process of remastering the Rusted Master Sword. Hey guys, it is ZF Productions here, and today I am going to be doing some work on the Master Sword. Now, I know you guys probably have a ton of questions, and one of them might be, well, hey ZF, where have you been? I've been doing a lot of school stuff lately, and it's just taking all my time. I haven't even had time to really edit, but you know, I finally just got done with a play that my school was doing, and in order to do the play, we needed a sword for the main decorated sword. We didn't have time to really make one, so I had to give them my Master Sword because that was the only thing that kind of fit the bill, because it's supposed to be like a really, really good looking blade. So I gave them the Master Sword, and it got really beat up during the process because, you know, you can imagine, you know, through practice sword fighting and through the actual show where it gets thrown around a little bit, it's going to take some damage. Now, luckily for me, the damage was not too extensive. There was a little bit of a crack, but I fixed it early on. I'll show you that in 1 second. But mainly, the paint just got chipped, and I had to get rid of all the rust that I had on it, just because it didn't look good on stage. So let me show you what it looks like. This is it. So let me show you where I had to paint it. So you see this right here. Let me zoom in on it for you. Alright, so this right here was about the crack. You can see kind of how it travels right here. And it kind of just, you know, kind of went, and it was basically kind of along here. So let me show you. So if you look, you can see that there's a bunch of paint there. So basically it cracked there and kind of went along the seam line, because as you got, I believe I told you guys, because I believe I told you guys that this is, okay, focus, that this is 3 layers. You can kind of see it right there. So you have 2 layers of thin wood, one on either side, and then, you know, 1 layer of thin wood, and then in between it is a thicker layer, and then another layer. On some areas I have it sanded down pretty well, but for overall the sanding job was not that good. You can still see a lot of wood grain, right, especially like right here. And as you can see, all the rust is gone. Now there are, as you can see, a little bit of, there's a lot of paint chipping and all that, and some areas where the old rust paint kind of comes through because I was going fast on it. So the main goal today, I am going to be using my orbital sander over there, and I am going to basically sand down the blade, try and get rid of a bunch of these imperfections with 100 grit. Then I'm gonna go in with 220 grit, because I don't think I had that when I made this. And then I'm going to come in by hand with some 400 grit and finish it up. I also wanted to find this because the line is very good over here, but then it just kind of gets worse. So yeah, and I'm going to be wearing my respirator and my glasses for safety. Well, pretty sure the line's got worse. And I accidentally rounded it off in an area. But, as you can see, yes, it is wood. Okay guys, we're back. It's been a couple days, so the Master Sword has had enough time to dry by now. It's all white and yeah, not sticky anymore. There is still a bit of texture left, so I have to sand that out. But before I do, I did get some wood filler. So let me show you. This is Bondo wood filler. It's paintable, sandable, permanent, non-shrinking. Let me show you a bit up close. So yeah, that's it. As you can see, it has the mixing solution in there. And instead of putting it in the cap, because that actually really, it sucks, I have a plate right here, solo plate for Christmas. And I'm going to get this off first. There we go. Alright. I'm going to attempt to put a little bit over the entire blade. Like just like a really thin layer to try and fill in that grain pattern. I'm going to be doing this at least on the blade. Because right here, it doesn't matter too much, especially because I'm probably going to end up completely redoing the way the wings are. So I'm going to be filling in these cracks right here. This texture over here. Like I said, the general blade. I'm going to try to avoid all the damage I did because I do not want to redo that. And also, right, let's see, where is it? Here. Let me get up close. So right here, I cut into it a bit too much, and I did that accidentally, and I just had to leave it there. So I'm gonna fix a bunch of mistakes. Hey guys, it's ZF, and we're back. So it's been about a day, and I did the other side. This side's a lot more rough, but I was trying to do it pretty quickly since I had something else planned. But it doesn't really matter because I'm going to be taking about 100 grit sandpaper. I'm going to be going as straight as possible across the whole blade, knocking off all those high spots and everything. Let's get to sanding. Hey guys, so sword is as smooth as it's gonna get, pretty shiny. So now this is done, I'm going to be hitting it with some universal primer. So this stuff is called universal bonding primer. Primes bonds to anything. I could have gotten the regular stuff, but I really wanted to get a higher quality so that way it will stay smooth and make sure the paint will not come back up at all. So yeah, this is a flat white. It's just 28, 50, 11 universal bonding primer. I'm gonna do light coats. Alright guys, so I put a lot of coats on this, and now we are hitting this with a different kind of silver than I usually do. It's not really silver, it's actually aluminum. It's supposed to just be metal, but it is 327907 metallic aluminum, which if you guys came over to my channel from Happy Adam's channel, you'll know that he used that for his Hylian shield before deciding on a brighter silver because it didn't look right. Well, I want mine to look a bit older, so I think a darker metal will work and give it a bit more realism. So I'm gonna go with this before I hit it with with the lighter silver. Let me get this back on. Oh my gosh, this actually... Oh, wow. You guys will not believe this, but just look at that. We're only one coat in, and wow, that looks very, very metallic. That looks way more like metal than the other one. Wow, that is such a big difference from the other one. I knew the darker one would look nice, and if I sanded it, it would look a lot nicer, but wow, that's a huge difference. Hey guys, it's ZF. So we are back with a bit more. So I'm basically going to be redoing the Master Sword after I've already technically finished the paint, a little bit of the paint job. So I now know what colors I need, and I'll tell you guys once, I'll show them to you guys once I can get them. But for now, I want to focus on the sword itself. So as you can see, very shiny, very metal-like, but it can be better. So I'm going to be stripping the paint off of this. Let me show you my new toy. I got myself a belt sander. Okay, so this is my verdict. I'm not good enough with this yet because I've pretty much kind of ruined the tip of the blade. It doesn't look right anymore. It's not going to look right anymore because I sanded all the material off, and no amount of wood fill is going to fix that. So, so the only thing I can really think to do is just stop. I'm going to paint it. Well, I'm going to sand it the way I was like originally planning on sanding it by hand. Get it as smooth as I can. Dremel out this. And, you know, kind of finish it off. Yeah, so this is where we're at. As you guys can see, the blade does not look the best, especially up here at the tip. I was really trying to fix my angles because, yeah, it was easy to fix them. But at the same time, like, you know, my lack of experience kind of made me do a lot of mistakes. And I think the belt sanders, when I went against it, it actually ended up scratching the blade instead of, you know, kind of getting it in place like I wanted. So I'm gonna do a couple more projects. You know, if you guys want me to see me build anything, please put it in the comments below. I'm going to try and use wood a bit more often, use this a bit more often. I'm going to start looking at some Happy Adam videos more closely, so that way, hopefully I can maybe, you know, learn how I was supposed to do this. But I think that my main thing is, if I do this again, I'm going to have the belt sander from the start, because for me, it was hard correcting so many imperfections with the belt sander, and when I messed up with the belt sander, I was trying to sand it away, but there was only so much material, and that's why it looks so thin now, right here. If I kept continuing, you know, the only way to fix this would be to make this smaller. So for now, I'm just gonna be okay with this kind of gradual shift. Okay, and now we move on to painting the handle of the Master Sword, or the guard. So this is actually not easy to get. It actually took me messaging a guy from Heroic Replicas, which is a company that makes really good looking Master Swords that are the perfect color. I actually messaged them asking if they had any recommendations for spray paint I could use to get close to their color, and one of the employees named Dave actually wrote back to me, so thank you so much if you're watching this. He said that I should start with 2 medium coats of Dupli-Color Sonic Blue Pearl Forward, and then a very light coat of Dupli-Color Metal Cast Purple Anodized. It took a lot of experimenting. I actually ended up going back and forth on each one until I finally got it right. But after a lot of trial and error, it really came out being like that perfect Master Sword color. After I was done spray painting the main color, I moved on to painting the golden gem. So I had 2 paints that I was testing out. First I tried this fabric paint, but I ended up settling on this other gold paint I had, which was a lot darker and just I liked a lot better. Finally, I wrapped the handle in some cheap material I got from Walmart. The basic idea here is to look at some references and figure out how many times the two strands cross. You have one that starts on the back and one that starts on the front, and basically you just have to count how many times they cross and just kind of measure it out, mark it, and then just figure it out from there. I use super glue to keep mine in place. You might want to use something stronger because mine eventually came up, but just keep trying at it and you'll get it. Well, anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. This is going to be part 1 because I have a lot more that I'm going to be doing with part 2. We're going to be weathering the Master Sword as well as adding something else, which I'm pretty excited for. So stay tuned for that. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to leave a like to let me know that you liked it. And if you really enjoyed it, please subscribe or do whatever you want to let me know that I'm doing good. Anyways, guys, have a nice day, and with that, this is Zia Productions, signing out.